I'll just pop them on the screen here, and then Francesca and I will trade off on asking them. So, question: many companies expect real-world experience, even for entry-level roles. What's your advice for closing that gap while still in school?
That's a great question. And you know what's unfortunate? I will say, and I am not a pessimist, but I will say today, you'll see entry-level positions looking for 7 years of experience. That's not entry level. And I feel like a lot of organizations are missing the boat by not upscaling and promoting from within. But to your point, volunteer. You volunteer and you set this up. Some of the groups when I was early on, I volunteered with. I would I would help them, work with pen testers who were new to it. Like once you start meeting people and you volunteer, maybe you volunteer with an OWASP group and you do some work pro bono. And what I mean by that, I'm going to work with the NIST program and work with these small businesses, and take my governance, risk, and compliance experience and help them improve their security posture. So it's closing. And I want to stick to the question. Real world experience doesn't have to be a current or a previous job. Real world experience could be you got to make sure you do it on a budget, but you stand up some AWS instances. You go in there and you can do it real cheap, only have them running when you need it, only have them running exactly when you're working on it, but you try to get the hands-on experience that way and just try to do the work pro bono. I would recommend, honestly, getting involved in those groups, because you get involved with those groups, you meet people saying, hey, we're helping do a security audit for a local church group. They don't have the resources, but one of the other church groups that they deal with got hacked or was in a ransomware. And it doesn't, with the technical experience can be a little more difficult to get that experience, but take your security best practices and you apply them, you learn them, you hone them. Just by talking to groups and working with those, volunteer opportunities, just to be careful with, your email, just to not click on links. Like, you'll get a spam event. It's a shame. It's a lot of older folks. It seems that they try to target there, because I've had, more older folks contact me. I just got an email about my PayPal account. Well, you don't have a PayPal account, so definitely don't click on that link. But volunteer and to get involved. If you volunteer, the opportunities will present themselves.
So another question is, what are some open source cybersecurity tools like Nmap, Wireshark, Kali Linux that students can learn and experiment with to get hands-on technical experience?
Yeah, Kali Linux is probably the one-stop shop. I would recommend that. You can download an ISO with that. You can burn it onto a thumb drive. You can make it non-persistent, so you just load it up off your laptop. And you can also use YouTube videos to do safe training exercise with it. Please, I've worked with folks and known folks before that they started scanning their the local city offices. Don't do that. Please make sure you're in a secure playground, and that's where you set up open box. Yeah, set up some VMs. You kind of go doing that where you have 3 VMs going, and then you use Nmap to scan them. Get the best learn the best security practices and apply that to those tools. I think Kali Linux is really the way to go. Kali Linux is the way to go. But there's a lot of free versions of software you can use. Nessus, I think the most popular vulnerability scanner, you can use that in a personal license for a few days, a week or so. You get that, you set it up, and just go through the steps, familiarize yourself with the tool. The Kali Linux, I think that's the best, but get involved in the local B-sides. You start working with those folks, and if the B-side say it's $100, volunteer at the local B-sides. And you start meeting these folks where most cybersecurity folks are always eager to help, because they remember when they got into the field.
Next question. What's the extra mile in learning documentation? How do you document workflow in your work, and what software do you use?
That's a great question. No one ever brings up documentation. I love that there's a question on it. Documentation is so important. It's so difficult. It's so time consuming. That's why AI, I know it's got its negatives with security. You just have to be careful with data you're loading in there. It's now training data because you're the product. You really are with AI. I mean, as long as you use it smartly. And I'm always looking for a good way. I'm looking to set myself up in Amazon so I can make it private, so I can load my personal information there, but no, it's not going anywhere. But the extra mile in learning documentation, that's a great question. I would just, you have certain things like Jira and other tools like that that are good for documentation. I don't know of a good open source free version of that. What I would do, just get in the habit of use AI to document your processes, and you put them in Google Docs. If you get in a good habit of being meticulous and having an attention to detail there, that's going to be huge because they're living documents. They really are. And documents, policies, procedures, they all build off that. But how to document workflow, I don't know of any good open source. I wish I did. I would say Jira, honestly. I mean, but I don't think that's open source. I would use Google Docs and things like that. And I would use AI to create workflows and to research, some good open source. I'm going to look into that. That's a great question. I'm going to look into that and get back to you. I love that you brought up documentation. I'm a big fan.